What's up, tennis players? Coach Jeff here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to hit a heavier ball. If you're thinking in your mind and you're asking the question, how can I hit a bigger ball? You're asking the right question. I am so big on ball striking. It makes such a big difference. The speed of the ball matters, and I can't tell you how often a player comes back to me and they say, well, I messed up because I hit every ball to them. And I go and watch the match, and their opponent's behind the baseline, they're hitting the ball down the middle, and their opponent's just teeing off and putting the ball away. Now, I always say the problem isn't that you're hitting the ball to them, the problem is that you're just not hitting a big enough rally ball. We see pros hit the ball down the middle all the time, so we know it's possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what happens to the ball when you hit a big ball, and we're going to show you exactly how to hit it, and then we're going to go over some common problems of why people can't hit it, and then we're going to show you a drill that's going to help you hit a bigger ball, a heavier ball, a more quality rally ball. So simply put, hitting a big heavy ball is making the ball compress or squishing the ball down, hitting through it, and also making the ball rotate. You certainly don't want to make the mistake of thinking just because you're getting a lot of spin on the ball that you can't also get a lot of compression. So what you want to do that is pretty simple. You just hit up and through the ball. But there's a couple things that prevent people from doing this. First off, let's go over why you're not getting enough compression on the ball. There's a couple common problems I see on that. The first one being that people give too much importance to the wrist and elbow at contact. We watch the pros and we see the wrist and elbow move, and we think that it's happening right at contact. So people get up to contact and then they whip the forearm and wrist off the ball. That's just not what happens when pros hit the ball. Granted, there's some wrist and elbow motion and a little supination of the arm, but it's really the shoulder that's dominating the shot. The shoulder hits up and through the ball, and then the wrist and elbow motion happens a little during, but mostly after the ball's already gone. The problem is the elbow goes straight up at 90 degrees, and the wrist certainly doesn't help hit through the ball at all. So if you try to use your shoulder longer and then relax the elbow and wrist after the ball is gone, you're going to get more compression. Because if you're swinging up too steep, you're going to lose compression on the ball. The other reason people don't get compression is just a lack of understanding of ball striking, how the ball and the strings interact. All the time I see people try to create spin by coming under and over the ball. They get up to the contact with a slightly open racket face, and then they try to change the angle of the racket face during contact. This is possible, it'll work, but it takes a lot of timing to get the strings vertical, and again, you lose all your compression because rather hitting through the ball, you end up coming around the ball, and then you really don't compress the ball as much as you could. So what actually happens if you look at pros, and again, you can't see it, but if you have a good high-speed camera, you can start to see it these days. More and more people are getting film of it, but the racket simply leads in closed, the strings grab the ball, and it's actually the ball that moves on the strings, not the strings that move on the ball, and then it's friction that carries that ball up. So understanding that you don't have to come in and over the ball, you just don't have time to do that, and just keep that racket face much more constant through the hit. Should allow you to swing out faster. It's going to do all kinds of good things for you, but for purposes of this video, it's going to simply help you get more compression and hit a bigger ball. Now, if you're the player that's getting lots of compression on the ball, lots of thump, but you're lacking that ball rotation, well, that's a very common problem too. And actually one of the most common problems we see in tennis is where players hit on the level of the ball. This is very common. You're looking at your target through the net. The court's almost like an optical illusion in this way. I see it all the time, players hitting straight into the ball. This really isn't possible. There was some good research done by Vic Braden quite a while ago where he measured how hard you'd have to hit a ball straight to get it to go over the net. I believe it was in the range of 200 miles an hour at shoulder level to hit a truly flat ball to get it to go over, just because of gravity and air resistance. So it's not really possible. So what happens is you get in here and then your racket will scoop to get the ball to go over. You have to slow your swing down and then to get gravity to drop it in. But hitting on the level of the ball is very normal, very natural. All you have to do is, and what I like to do as a coach is I don't tell people to get under the ball anymore, because sometimes I feel like they think I might mean get under the ball. I tell people, make sure you're getting below impact. You got to get the racket below impact. Even on those higher balls where you feel like you can hit down on the ball, you can't. You still want to get that racket a minimum of a foot or even more below impact. When you hit up steeper, you're going to get more spin. So we see the problem with people hitting up too steep, and then we see the problem with people just not hitting up steep enough. And the best way to fix it is with our trusty Topspin Pro. By far one of, if not my favorite training aid on the market right now to work on this particular problem. The reason I like it so much is, one, the ball itself is spring-loaded so you can compress it, and then it also allows you to rotate. And it really should rotate. So when you do this, I see some people use a Topspin Pro wrong. They'll either do, you can actually see what their perception is. They'll come in, and like we talked about, you'll see them whip off it with the forearm and wrist, which we don't really want, or you'll see them come in and kind of almost slightly scoop it, and you won't see the ball spin. If you're using the Topspin Pro right, you're really gonna see that ball blur and continue to blur after you hit it. I'll see if I can do it here, but if I get below the ball and keep my racket at a constant angle, I'm gonna compress it and rotate it, and the ball should really get spinning well. So see how it's gonna keep going. That's how you kind of know you're using it right. And why not do it every time, but there's some good rotation there. So if you can keep it spinning and really make it snap back, you know you're getting lots of spin and compression. So please grab your Topspin Pro. The link's in the description. It's an affiliate link. It supports this channel, but you're gonna wanna get one. You're gonna see it a lot on this channel and in the future. But anyways, thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you now have a better understanding of how to hit a bigger ball to go out and neutralize your opponents. It's gonna help, I promise. Let me know in the comments if it makes sense. If it doesn't, definitely let me know in the comments. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.